Welcome to our Junk Journal July challenge using the week 2 challenge, Building Creative Confidence. We have used the colour cube cards from Sarah Renae Clark, number 305, with the colours slate grey, yellow, marigold, kale, chocolate and black. And I have used Derwent pastel pencils and Life of Colour paint pens and Posca paint pens. And I'm just making up my colour swatch so I can see how they work blending together. The message for this week's challenge is markers, keys, what doors am I unlocking creatively, graphic and brave. And I'm using our confidence pack that you can find on my website. I'll put the link in the description. And we have a collection of bulbs, birds, windows, flowers, and quotes to help give you some journaling prompt ideas, as well as having some paper backgrounds. I'm also going to colour my background with the Colour Blast colour sprays. This one's using the concrete and some stormy weather. I should have put a medium over the page, either a transparent gesso or matte medium, to help those sprays move a little bit better. They soaked into the paper a bit too much. So, and I've also used the rainforest and saffron colours, and I spritzed some water over them to try and get it to soften and blend. And when that wasn't working for me, I grabbed my white gesso and a palette knife, and while it was still wet, I've added the just smooshed in some white gesso in with the paint in the background. So I just want to soften that background. This video is sped up, so it goes a lot quicker for you guys. So I'm just going to add a little bit more spray just to finish off, and then drying that off with a heat gun. And I've already cut out a few of my elements from the pack, and I'm going to use a Liquitex matte gel medium to glue them down. These little extra edges, I'm just putting a little bit on the edges and then putting it on the background. I'm using a silicone brush to put them down with. I just find that you can get a really nice smooth seal that dries pretty quick. And I've printed the bulbs and the light string of lights and the windows onto tissue paper. And some I've torn out, some I've cut out. And I'm just going to adhere them down with the gel matte medium as well. And I'm just creating a frame along the top. I'm just framing my scene with those elements. And I've torn them up and mixed and matched and put different bits and pieces together. Just because your cutter parts and things come a particular way doesn't mean they have to stay that way. You're free to cut them up and change how they look, make them work for your page that you're working with. So I'm just layering up my elements, creating little stories. And I'm going to put the bulbs and the keys like they're hanging down, so I'm just trying to find the placement where they're going. And as usual, I have stuck the word the quote on a bit crooked down the bottom, but anyway, I can fix that with some pen work. Now I'm using my Derwent pastel pencils, and I'm just creating some shadows and connecting the elements that I've just stuck down, connecting them to the background. And just sort of putting that shadow in around things, it just helps to connect. And I'm using the brown colour for these shadows just to add a little bit more warmth to the page. So I've kept the colours quite neutral with the greys and then the yellow. Now I'm using the grey pastel pencil to just extend some brickwork from those windows into the background. So again, it's just connecting those two layers together. So I've done it lightly with the grey, coming with the brown, and then I'll reinforce with some paint pen shortly. And I'm leaving some sort of a crisp and blending in some. I haven't tried to do them neat or any way in particular. It's just creating some pattern and connecting those layers. So there's no rhyme or reason here. They're not neat, they're not perfect. It's just extending our images out. And I'm just using my finger to blend that in a little bit. I like how it just softens it a little. This is where you can get totally lost in the doodling aspect of creating. The beauty of working with your pastel pencils, if you don't like something, you can pretty much just wipe it away, especially if you have a layer of matte medium going over your elements that are glued down. So I'm just using the black pastel pencil to extend some of those lines and leaves where I've like chopped them up and mixed and matched. So I'm just making them look a little more connected through here. Now, once I've done with my pastel, I'm using a fixative spray to like set my pastel pencils. I've decided to just add a little bit more shadowing before I do that. Just trying to make those bulbs and keys sort of stand out. And just putting that little bit of like brown colour against everything, it helps connect everything as well. As you can see, I'm not super neat with it. I just do a little scribble and give it a blend. Okay, now she's ready for the fixative spray. So you can get different brands of fixative sprays. This one I got from Officeworks. Now I am going to use my pens. This is a Uniball Eye fine black pen, and I'm just going to add a little bit extra detail with the paint pens as well. Okay, that brand of fixative spray that I've used there was Study Mate that I picked up from Officeworks. So again, all the elements that I've glued down, I just like to use pen and pencil work to help connect them to the background, or I can use my stencils or stamps. And drawing extra strands of hair out and out into your background also help it to connect as well. So I've just got the Life of Colour pens. I'm just highlighting a few of the bricks. Just to add a little bit more depth in there. And then I'm just going to enhance the yellow, make the yellow a little bit bolder with my yellow paint pen. So if I wanted to, I could even come in with a different colour there and completely change the look of everything again. Now I've gone back to my black pastel pencil and just adding a little border around the outside edge of the page. The pastel pencil's nice to blend a soft border around. But I still come back to doing pen borders as well. I just like those little scribbly lines. For me, I just find that helps finish off a page. And that's where using my scribbly lines helps disguise how crooked that word strip was. I'm now adding my journaling to the background of the page, and I'm just going to go right across the page. So the journaling prompt, what doors am I unlocking creatively? I've really been trying to dig deep of what's holding me back and what is causing procrastination when it comes to creating, and what direction do I want to go moving forward. It's making asking all the hard questions and making all the hard decisions that seem to hold me back. Just adding a couple of little extra elements. I just feel like it can balance out a little bit more. So I've added a few more keys hanging. It's giving a little bit more highlight shadows on the bulbs. Just having a look now at where it needs a little bit more balance. And I'm just using my Uniball eye. I just feel like I just want to make things pop just a little bit more. I'm just adding an extra outline. And I like adding a little scribble element over things as well. And I've got a few more spaces. I'm just going to add a little bit more journaling to help balance some spots and fill some spots. You may even prefer to journal on your page first and then completely cover up with paint. Because even when you've covered journaling with your paint, you still remember what your story is about, and it takes you back when you look at it. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do with this pack. Thanks for now. Bye.